Hey everyone, it's my first YouTube video and I already forgot to turn the microphone on, so now I'm doing this voiceover. So today we got this Switch Joy-Con and somebody kind of killed the joystick by smashing it while playing Mario Party. But yeah, and also that person might have broke the battery connection the first time they took it apart. Anyway, this 4 pack of joysticks was about, I don't know, like 17 bucks on Amazon. 2 batteries was about 15 bucks. I'm just opening it up. Okay, so to take it apart, the screws on the outer case are going to be the tri-point screws. So there's a workarounds, but if you have it, it makes it much easier. Plus, I think this pack came with a screwdriver if you don't have one too. I just have a whole kit, so I just use that instead. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. Okay, but once you get it off, I already took this one apart so I could pop it open with my nails pretty easily. But just shove anything flat in there and you should be able to pull it apart. Be careful though, you kind of want to open it like a shell because there's two ribbon cables between the two halves. As you can see, I already took the battery out. But yeah, just be careful those two cables. They're not super flimsy, but you want to watch out. And then at this point in the video, I'm gonna take this plastic cover off with the ZR button attached, but don't do that. I'm gonna clip in a second video of a better way. Just look on here. I'm gonna show you where the screws are for later. Okay, so now while the cover's off, I'm gonna pop off the button. Super easy to do. Just shove something flat in between it and pop it off. Comes off super easy. But you should do this while it's still on. Reason why is I thought that ribbon was glued in. It's not actually, just held on by that one screw. So if yours is still on, you can take that off and just move it to the side. So that way you could just take that plastic piece out and not have to deal with that short cable removing it and putting it back in. Okay, now I'm going to cut back to the original video. Yeah, just take those off. And right now, I think I'm trying to tell you that the battery connector, how I broke it was I wasn't too careful. It comes straight up, not side to side, not in or out, just straight up. Just pry it up. That's why I kind of did that lever motion. Also, I took the antenna off. You really don't need to. You should keep it on. Don't know why I did that. But yeah, once you have the battery out, and make sure you take that button off and that ribbon, it'll make your life easier. I didn't. I'm going to cut that out later, but just take those 3 screws out and take that plastic piece out. And that button usually falls out too, the L or R button. And right there, I'm saying that you can take those off, but there's literally no point. But alright, to take the joystick out, there's also a black little piece you can flip up on the connector, opposite of where the ribbon goes in. Just pop it up, and then that ribbon should pull right out. Now it's 2 Phillips screws holding the joystick in. Unscrew those two. Once you do that, just push from the outside. It'll come out pretty easy. I just scratched it up to make sure I don't mix it up. I know it's bad. That little piece fell off because it's pretty busted. And then right here, I'm just making sure there's no difference between right or left. There is no difference. They're all the same. Okay, so you can go ahead and just shove it right back in there. Shouldn't give you any problems. And then you can put the two Phillips screws back in. Okay, now you're gonna watch me struggle putting this ribbon in. The reason why is I was trying to use plastic tweezers and they were slipping a lot. As you're gonna see, they are better. You're not gonna damage anything, but they were slipping so much it was kind of a pain. But an easy way to do this is if you use regular tweezers or even the plastic ones, if you decide to, kind of roll it. That way you can get the edge aligned, and as soon as you get the edge aligned, you can just go ahead and push it in. And by rolling it, I mean kind of grab it and twist it clockwise. I actually believe I already had it in there, but as you can see, there's a bunch of silver sticking out, which makes it seem like the connection didn't go in all the way, but it actually did. So you're going to see me pull it back out, put it on top, make sure that it actually went deep enough, realize that it did, and then put it back in. I tried to compare it with the other one. I wasn't too sure. I even pushed the little black piece that holds it in back down. Still wasn't too sure. Tried to pull it out with the plastic tweezers, it was slipping. Finally got annoyed, pulled it out, put it on top, realized that it wasn't all the way, put it back in. It was should have been that easy. Push the little black piece down to clamp it down. Now with this, goes in pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of funny because it's a circle notch that goes into a square hole. But just put it in there, make sure it clicks well. Probably will. There's a lot of tolerance for it. Now I'm gonna cut that part out. Now that should be how you have it, just to the side. And then you can go ahead and put that piece in. Make sure that button clicks. If it does, go ahead and put those 3 Phillips screws back in. Or sorry, no, first um, tighten that ribbon cable down. Actually, the screw was stuck to the screwdriver the whole time. I didn't even realize. As soon as you do that, then you can take the 3 screws to put that cover on. As soon as you get those screwed into place, you can just pop this back on. The only thing with this one is you need to make sure there's 2 notches on the bottom. Just make sure the springs go into those notches. If they do, just lightly push in and it'll snap right back into place. Test it out, it should be good. Now I'm grabbing new battery. Hopefully you didn't mess up your battery. You shouldn't if you didn't pull. If you did pull straight up, you shouldn't have messed it up. And right here, you're gonna try to look for the 2 slivers that go into the connector. One side will have the slivers, one won't. But I mean, also negative is towards the top of the controller. So black wire towards the top, red towards the bottom. That's another way to look at it. But just get into position and find something to push it in with. And the battery just goes in there. No glue, no nothing. Pretty simple. Now I'm going to start closing it back up, but I forgot to put the antenna in, so I'm going to cut to that now. I'm doing great for my first video, aren't I? Okay, cut to the antenna. So I'm putting the antenna in, and then I'm going to try to put the wire in. Don't do that. Just take the antenna, straighten out the wire so you can get a nice, good grip. Well, first of all, you shouldn't have taken the antenna off at all. So hopefully you listened to me and didn't do that. But if you did, don't do this. Take it out, straighten it out, get it over the connector, and push it down. Should be pretty easy, even if you did take it off. You'd have to try to mess it up. Once you get that in, put it into its little slot groove thing. And then there's a little groove for the wire. You can go ahead and shove it in there. Mine didn't want to cooperate too much, but I got it in there. Okay, now you can put the two halves together. Just make sure those two ribbon cables don't get pinched or anything. If they don't, snap it together. Screw in the 4 tri-point screws. Okay, now we can test it out. Make sure your controllers are vertical, either by just removing it from the switch and using it like that, or just changing grip order. But if you do it like that, you're going to have two, because the calibration thing won't let you go in there to test it out properly. When you're in horizontal, you have to be in vertical. Don't know why I'm holding the second controller there too, but yeah, just go to settings, go to controller settings, and then calibrate sticks. Then hold the stick to any one side. It should pop up, and just start spamming it. As long as every time you let go, it goes back to a crosshair and not a circle, it's good. And right now, I'm going to cut to taking apart the old joystick, because why not? Probably should grab something better than a box cutter to take it apart, but I was kind of being lazy, because I put everything away before I thought about doing this. Okay, now we got it apart. Spring in there, little basically linear potentiometers on 2 axes. It's pretty simple. But the reason why mine was broken is because it was smashed so hard that the plastic, I'll show you in a second, literally cracked almost in half. Yeah, it's in 2 pieces. And that'll do it. But yeah, thanks again. See ya.